Hello guys, I'm Sage. Today we're doing a BO4 Zombies speedrun tier list on classics. For those who don't know me, I'm a speedrunner a long time ago on Blood of the Dead and more recently on Voyage. And for this video I interviewed 3 world record holders to break down the maps, the routes and the decision behind the top level ones and to understand what it takes to world records. Each of them gave their full in-depth reasoning. So this video is intentionally long and technical, made for the speedrunning community and for those who are interested on getting on speedrun Black Ops 4. I try to restructure the interview map by map to directly compare their viewpoints. You can find the full interview linked into the description. Without further ado, let's introduce them. Now we have a world record holder on Alpha Omega Ancient Evil on Dead of the Night. How are you, Flindex?
I'm good, man.
It's Freckleston. I have the world record Voyage on Classics. Welcome, Freckleston, on my channel. How are you doing?
Hello.
Mate?
I'm good. I'm good.
Now we have a world record holder. Wjorge, how are you, mate?
I'm doing good.
How did you actually see the map at the beginning? Was it hard for you to actually learn it?
Yes. Yeah. So Dead of the Night is a very hard learning curve. Like the hardest part about the run is the beginning because there's so many items and things you have to remember at the start, and like it took me a long time. It took me like 2,000 to 3,000 resets to get kind of like caught up to where Flindex was at the start. It is really hard to start to go really fast. There's just so much you have to remember, so many different scenarios, and then also the reset conditions now are very high, right? If you
And you actually
if you don't
need
get stim lockdown, basically it's
yeah,
over. Besides like one combo, so
and you need to have the best dig. You actually need the best symbols too, right?
yeah. So the main RNG set points in the run are, so you have the start, which is like the first 7 minutes, which is just the 3 crystals. So you need a good ghost, a good clock, and then a good lockdown. And there's a bunch of different combos for that, but you basically need a good combination of those 3 to go fast. And then after that, you have scratches, which is you have an 11.4% chance to get what we call perfect scratches, which is basically the fastest without guessing. Which to guess you would need to get like ungodly lucky. Like it's like 1 in 1,000. That's just not happening, right? It's like worse than that.
But
'Cause you have
I
to guess
heard
the
there
order.
is, yeah, I think you actually can guess a symbol, right?
Yeah, if you play for the route, you take so perfect scratches. There's 7 scratches locations, and you only check 4 of them, and the chances of getting all 3 in the 4 locations is 11.4%. Like I said, so if you only get 2, you could actually guess which is a 1 in 10 also, because there's 12 different symbols
Yeah.
on the wheel.
Yeah, there is
So
true.
it is another 1 out of 10. And
do you think
yeah.
like there is like a actually time save in Dead of the Night? Because I heard there is actually can be a pattern on the boss fights.
Yeah. So like compared to my run, there is a little bit of time save, but my run is very, very good. The biggest time save in my run is like 8 to 10 seconds from the ABH. I get worst ABH off the Wicker. Like every other like RNG set
Oh,
point
really?
in the run, I got it. There's also in the boss, we were trying to cook up a new strat to save like it was like 14 seconds in the first phase of the boss where you
Yeah.
so what you need to do is get the chakrams to glitch out, which we don't know how to do. And if we figure out how to do that, then you have a 1 out of 9 to get perfect dials. You need a 1 turn on the 2 dials you have to turn for the first phase of the boss. And if you get that and you just W key, you press the dial, both the
Oh,
dials once, and
wow.
then you can make it and save 14 seconds in the first phase. So those are like the only 2 time saves. The only problem with that is we don't know how to get the chakram glitch. So there's a glitch where sometimes we use our chakrams to run to the entrance of the boss, right? And sometimes
Yes.
they stay pulled out when you enter the boss, and it's very inconsistent. It happens like almost never. So, but if we figure out how to consistently do that, then you have a 1 out of 9 chance to say 14
Like make it
seconds.
happen. Yeah. 14
Yeah,
seconds.
that's a lot on that map. That would be the
Yeah.
biggest time save we have left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know how to do it consistently. So.
And when you start speedrun this map, was it like really hard to actually get the world record?
Yeah, this map was the hardest record I've gotten. For sure I would honestly say that the 25:55 that Flynn had was probably better than my blood time before I got record. That's how good the time is now.
Yeah, it's really
It's very
optimized.
optimized now. Yeah, it's very optimized. Yeah, it took me 5,000 and I have it pulled up 5,058 resets, but that's not exactly accurate. I also spent a ton of time on the practice patch, like a
Practice
ton.
patch,
I
yeah.
really grinded it, yeah. So it
I want I want to ask you something. Like when you did actually speedrun this map, how many time did it get you to have this world record? I mean, you had the PB. I think you had like the second time. I think Flindex was the first one, and then you beat him like a few months after. Was it
yeah,
like
I was in second place. It was not what was my PB? It wasn't a PB by a minute. It was like
26
I just
something?
couldn't get yeah, it was 26:30 something.
Yeah,
It was like 36 or something. The I like was capable of getting a better time at like a low 26 or like a high 25, but I just wasn't getting some of the RNG. I kept getting like that PB. I think at the yeah my PB at third dig, which loses 30 seconds.
yeah. Because you
So
you
yeah,
need to get like that first dig
yeah.
actually.
If you get first dig, it's obviously fastest. If you get second, you lose about 15 seconds, and if you get third, you lose about 30. It depends on the spawns too, but it's approximately that.
So Flindex, I want to jump right into Dead of the Night. I think one of your
Mhm.
favorite maps.
Yep.
And I heard it's really competitive when you see the leaderboard. You have so many players that plays actually a lot this map.
Oh
And
yeah, it's definitely the most competitive map on Black Ops 4.
and you did held the world record that was just beaten like months ago, a
Yep.
few seconds. And what do you think about like the difficulty of this map?
Oh, Dead of the Night, as it stands, is definitely the hardest record to beat on Black Ops 4. It is a crazy good time, and you're going to need near perfect RNG and to play nearly perfect as well.
We need actually the challenge at the beginning.
Yeah, you
And
need to get the right stuff from the crystals, you need to get the right scratches, you need to get the dig. It's pretty crazy what you need.
what do you think like is the most RNG like to get besides crystal at the beginning? Like you think it's the scratch, it's the end. What's your take about this?
Oh, it's definitely the scratches. It's an 11% chance to get perfect scratches, which you need to get the world record now, and that does not happen very often. So that's where you'll see most resets die.
So you actually need to depend on this.
Yes.
Okay, and do you think it's there is a possibility to actually guess a symbol?
Yeah, you can definitely guess a symbol. I know I've guessed a couple of times, but it's not ideal because it's still like another 1 in 10 for you to guess the symbol.
But no, by all means.
And what do you think like can be a breakthrough in this map? Like a new strategy, maybe the boss fight. I heard there is a lot of things talking about the boss fight. Do you think the boss fight can be optimized? Which step do you think can be optimized the most?
Well, as far as the run goes, I'd say the route is optimized and you're not going to find any time save there. But for the boss fight, if you have your chakrams ready when you go into the boss fight and you pull them, there's a possibility, I'm pretty sure it's a 1 in 9 chance for your dials in the boss fight to all be one turn. And if they were all one turn, you can quickly hit all of them and make the first cycle of the wolf. And that would save 15 seconds from a normal run. But again, that's
50.
very rare, and I've never seen that happen in a run before, so
And there
it's
is
a
not
bit...
a pattern in the boss fights? Or is
Well,
the dial?
there is, but it's randomness, so you're never going to get that time save consistently. It's always going to be up to chance.
Ah, so okay. So you think actually that's part of the RNG? Like you can lose time at the same way, like you can gain time on the boss fights?
Yes, but it's very rare that you're going to gain that time.
Okay. And do you think that's the step that you can actually make time, gain time?
Well, there's a bit of time save everywhere, really. Like a couple seconds here and there at the start, during lockdowns. But you just have to play a very good run across the board. There's no one particular spot where it's going to save you majority of the time.
I think we can jump into Dead of the Night. I think you actually love this map, Freckleston. You have actually a really good time in it.
I've got a love-hate relationship with Dead of the Night.
And,
It becomes super frustrating to play when you get a good time, I think, just because there's a lot of RNG that can be annoying. But I think the other frustrating thing is just how difficult it is. It's such a hard speedrun, and it's so unforgiving. If you make a mistake, it's going to punish you like every time.
I think your time is like 26, right?
Yeah, I have a 26:51. I want a better time, but I'd have to put a bit of time into it to get better, I think.
Yeah, and what do you think, like the most steps you can actually save time on Dead of the Night? I heard like there is like some time save on the boss fights.
Yeah, against WR, there's a very small chance that you can basically catch the first wolf in the boss fight in the first run that he does. So it's a very small chance that it can happen. Because you need all your dials to be perfect, basically. And you need a glitch to happen. So...
A glitch?
Yeah, so if you enter the boss fight with your chakrams out, there's a chance that they'll stay out infinitely until you put them away.
What?
So
Damn,
that speed boost... That speed boost will allow you to turn the dials
quickly.
just in enough time. And even then, it's still difficult to do that.
Do you think like there is another step that you can gain time, like guess a symbol maybe?
On the world record, probably in the start, in the early game, you can be faster, but other than that, there's really not a lot of time save. Guessing
Maybe guess
symbols
a
is a bit
symbol?
psychotic.
It's
That's a bit
possible.
mad. I don't think anyone will ever do that.
It's possible though.
It is, but I don't think I don't see anyone ever doing that.
Okay, Freckleston, thank you so much. I want right into Voyage.
Yeah.
I think you have actually a good time. You did a sub 40, sub 40. I think it was 1 year ago, or something like that.
Yep.
And that's
Around
a
that.
really hard map. I speedrun this map myself, and I want to have your take about this map and what do you think of the difficulty on this map?
Compared to all the other maps, yeah, I'd say it's quite a step up. Excluding Dead of the Night. Dead of the Night's far and away the top of the game when it comes to difficulty to world record. But right up there is Voyage as well, because it's another very RNG intensive map. You need a lot of stuff to go right, and it's also a very hard speedrun as well.
Yeah, when you see a lot of speedrunners, I mean, we can all say that it's not really competitive map because you don't have a lot of players that actually play this map. And I think it's actually a weird like speedrun because you have. I mean, for me, it's the map that you can have the most time save. I don't know if you agree about
Mhm.
that. But it's really difficult to learn and master.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the plug step is the big thing in that map, and it's never going to be the same across two games.
And you have the planet steps too. That's
Yep,
that's
the planet.
RNG.
There's also a lot of RNG.
And for the boss fight too.
Yeah, there's less RNG in the boss fight, but it's the skill check of the run. It's very difficult to consistently get good boss fight times.
But do you think like you need more skill on Dead of the Night or Voyage?
In terms of getting the world record, I'd say you need more skill on Dead of the Night.
Dead of the Night. Is it like when you actually speedrun this map? Was it hard for you? Was it easy?
Yes. So it's probably like there's two sides to it because right now it's definitely like easy for me because it's one of my most played maps. You know, I know I've played it so much it just becomes like more natural. But when I started playing Voyage back in 2021, um, I almost had like no guide to go off of, and I had to sort of learn it by myself. And it was also my first Black Ops format that I was learning, so it
Oh,
was really hard. Like Voyage was a really hard map. It took me quite a long time to really, well, just to get the world record in the first place. Um, so
and
yeah,
and
it's
it,
a bit of a mix of both. It started off really hard, but now it's a lot more natural.
but it's really hard to get into the speedrun Voyage. I did speedrun like a lot of Voyage, but it's really hard to get into it. And I think since 2021, you actually like we actually found like the free Kraken, the free the water
Faster
skip,
boss fight,
the boss fight too.
things like that. Yeah,
It's kind of helpful too.
it's tough. Yeah, so the thing is with Voyage is it's not like what I call linear. Like a lot of speedruns will be do this, then you do this, then you do this, and it's sort of like it's not
But there is
it's not
RNG.
wide open for what you want to do. Yeah, there's RNG, but there's a lot of decision making that you've got to do in the map.
Yeah, that's true.
It's never set on of you're going to do this because you got this RNG. You know what I mean? Like it's always like based on what you want to do as the player and what you think is going to be fastest in this situation.
Yeah.
Which makes it a lot harder because you're not then just like following a script of you must now do this and then you
Yes,
do this,
that's
you know.
true.
So that's
But
what makes it
especially,
so hard. I think that's what people struggle with a lot.
but I think it's especially for the plugs, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's where it's hard. And then obviously planets as well, like both of those.
Yeah, planets
Um
too. That's true. And the boss fight, you need to be like I think the planets is actually randomness. But you need to actually be fast, like without killing like acid, electric, fire, water. So actually, the boss is quite hard to be like really good and have a really good time in it.
yeah, those phases are quite annoying because on the first two phases, if you kill a catalyst zombie, so it's fire, water, poison, electric, it actually slows you down. So
Exactly.
you're basically training these guys around while killing everything else, and sometimes it can be really annoying because you got a fire on you and you're trying to dodge him, or there's a water zombie running around buffing all the zombies, making it harder to kill them. So it can actually be really annoying at times, and obviously slow you down if you accidentally kill them.
Yeah, and you need to be like really good in the boss fight and every time, so it's kind of hard. That's Blood of the Dead. We all know it's people can say it's the most tedious map, the most hardest one to get speedrun actually, or to do Easter egg.
Hmm.
I remember on Blood of the Dead you actually have a quite good time. I think it's a 51:03. And I don't know if you actually played the map like a lot, but I want to have your take about this map.
So I have a 48 on Blood, which it's a decent time, but out of all the other maps, I'd say I've played Blood the least, just because of the tedious resets. I'm not much of a fan. But
Yeah,
in terms of the difficulty, it's very hard. I'd say it's just between Dead of the Night and Voyage, so harder than Voyage, but easier than Dead of the Night. But to get a really good time, you're gonna have to put in a lot of time just because mastering Blood is not easy. There's so much that you need to learn how to do properly in the challenges because the main part of the run challenges, it's not going to be the same across multiple games. It's going to be different every single game. And learning how to play each situation the best is the hardest part of the run. And
and
it
without
defines
dying.
the run. Yeah. And its difficulty as well is a huge factor because if you just play everything safe, you're going to end up with slower time. So you have to just
Exactly, yes.
send it and play risky.
Exactly, and I think it's for me it's a super hard map because it takes a lot of skill to get good actually on the map for every speedrunner who
Mhm.
want to speedrun this map. And even
Yeah.
so, I think you have George, you have Jay, you have a lot of players who actually play this map. But
Yeah.
it's still really hard to them too to get actually a good time or a PB.
Yeah. It's
And
difficult.
and I think actually without dying, and you have actually a lot of steps that require RNG too. Huh?
Mm-hmm. To world record, you're gonna need very good challenge RNG, bird RNG, ABHs as well.
Freckleston, I want to ask you like the next map, the most I think tedious map ever. It's Blood of the Dead. I
I think
remember
it's
you had.
tedious.
I don't think it's tedious. I did speedrun it for 1 year. It was really hard. But
I
I think
think
like
yeah, the difference between the speed run and the actual Easter egg, like the Easter egg's tedious, but if you know how to speed run it, it's not that bad, I think.
yeah, but it's still hard. I remember you actually
Yeah,
got the world record during the World Cup in
yeah,
2022. What do you think about this map? Like you actually need to have a fast tomahawk. You need the highest achiever. Sorry, you need to have
yeah. So
like actually good RNG between challenges.
yeah,
Think
yeah.
about this map.
Blood's tough. Like it's one of my favorite speedruns. I think one because of its difficulty, and two just because I quite like long speedruns. Like the fact that it's a longer speedrun, I like a lot. Um, but Blood's really difficult for two reasons. One, there's quite a lot of RNG in it. The challenge order and what challenges you get, the actual RNG within each challenge, it can change your time quite a lot. Like you can probably lose maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes even against the world record on challenges alone if you get really unlucky. That's like getting really bad RNG. Uh and then on top of all of that, you have to play so well and your decision making with
Yeah.
how you're using your resources and things has to be almost perfect. Uh but it makes it to be a really hard speedrun. And I always sort of say, like, if you have a good time on Blood, like I'm talking like a 48, a 47, something around
Yeah,
that. I think
that's
that's like
insane.
so respectful. Like I respect that a lot. Just because I
Yeah.
think Blood is a tough map, and I think getting good at it is really impressive.
And what do you think about the competitiveness, sorry, on this map? Like there is a lot of player. Do you think like one day if you hop in, you can get the world records?
Yeah, I think so. Blood's one of my best maps. I think I'm quite unfortunate to not. Well, maybe I wouldn't have it right now, but I think I should have beaten it this year. But I think I was quite unfortunate not to. Um,
Right. Yeah,
I,
maybe
I
next year.
yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I think I love that there's so many players that will play this map and like you know really
Yeah, they
grind
push
down the
it a lot.
time and try and get
Yeah.
good times. Like with George and Jay, like they played it a lot. They've spent a lot of time to get good at it,
Yeah.
which I think is really cool because it is a really good speedrun.
Do you
And
think
that
like
competition is awesome when everyone's playing it. Like when all three of us are playing it at the same time, it's great. I love it.
yeah, it's insane. I think you are actually top three. And do you think like in 2026 you can actually get the world record or
Yeah,
you
so
think
I
it's
I hope
possible?
to go back and get that record. It's a map that I would like to get record on still. There's not many maps that I have like that anymore. But Blood is one of them.
Right. One last question about Black Ops 4 and Blood of the Dead. Do you think like the actual like the randomness about the challenges like matter or doesn't matter?
Yeah, they matter a lot. Basically, what you're looking for is to not get the docks challenge last, and also you want a spawn challenge last as well because after you finish that challenge, the next thing that you've got to do is place down the orbs in the spawn room. So it just saves a lot of travel
Yeah.
time, and that's actually really important now, just because of how good the times are. Um, so the order of your challenges is really important, and the way that I do it is I always try and set up the best way that I can to be able to do every single challenge. So I'll always try and make sure that if I do get showers next, I have a full round to do
Yeah.
do that step.
Oh,
Or
yeah. That makes sense.
I have swords ready at the right time to go to spawn if I need to and things, and then I'll decide what I do based on what challenge I get. So I do think it's quite important to make sure that you are set up properly.
That's quite difficult map. To ask you about how can you have like a sub 20 challenges? I know that's really hard, and you are the only one to ever do it.
Yep. So to get sub 20 challenges, you need to get an insanely good challenge order. So there's 5 challenges, and then you need to get good RNG in those orders, in those challenges. Excuse me. So you need a good panel order. You need good Morse code. You need like good dog round, maybe depends. You need to manage your rounds good, right? You need good sword drops, etc. I might have missed like one thing, but
What
basically
Simon
all
said
that.
too. Like the codes of Simon says, if you have the tree next to you and they have like the how do you call it again? You know, the shadow that it's next. Like let's suppose you have A, B, C, and he's next to them. You can gain actually time. On Simon says.
Yeah.
When you shock
Yeah.
it.
So you when you're doing Simon Says, you get the code. You want the ghost to be basically on the 3 panels.
Yeah, the ghost, yes.
Already. Yeah. So if you get like A, B, C, and he starts on A, that's really good. But if you get A, B, F, and he starts on A, that's still all right. But you're gonna lose like 20 seconds. But what's bad is if you get A, B, F, and then he starts on B, that's the worst code. You're losing like close to a minute. It's around 50 seconds. That's really bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you about Blood of the Dead. If someone wants to actually get this world record, I think you actually need a lot of skill on this map.
Yes, this map is Dead of Night and this map are the 2 hardest maps skill-wise on the game for sure, in my opinion. And Blood is, that's why I like it so much, because you could get a really good time. Like I consider sub 50 a really good time. The world record's at 36:46. Shows you how much like optimization it takes. But the map is really hard. If you like don't know what you're doing, you could die so easily. Like I don't mean to call him out, but I remember watching iMac when he was learning it, and like I downed all the time too. But it's just what I thought, right? It's so easy to down like at the numbers panel inside the house, especially if you let the rounds get away from you, because about round 15 and upward, it gets really hard. Like
Really
the zombies
hard.
just start swiping faster, they start running faster, and your shield breaks. It is really hard.
Yeah. And how do you manage actually to have the socks, you know, for the shield? That's a big optimization and a really good time save.
Yeah, so you want to be making sure to get sucks while you're like waiting for stuff, if that makes sense. There's some sections where you don't, and then you have to like kind of, you know, while you're running backwards, suck a zombie while you're running away. But like while you're waiting for showers to finish, after you finish showers, you give him the banjo, and then there's like a 15 seconds you have to wait before you can leave through the fast travel. So you try to get as many sucks during that as possible, right? And then also while you're moving the Docks Ghost, you get sucks. While you're moving the Michigan Ghost, you get sucks. While you're ideally you get shock boxes as well throughout the run to optimize sucks. During Spoon, shock box is very fast because not many people know this, but the Spoon Ghost moves faster after you finish sucking him. So after you finish the 3 or 4 sucks, depending on if you get the fast suck technique, but he starts moving faster, which is why it's so important to get him done fast. That's why shock box is so good.
But shock box is actually a lock.
Yes. There are, I'm gonna forget, I think there are 12. It's around that. There's 12 around the map, and so every round.
10 or 11, yeah. I'm not sure. 10 or 11.
Yeah, was it 10 or 11? Yeah, something like that, around that. And it's so there's a random chance to spawn on any of those. There's guaranteed to be one of every round, but each round it flips.
Yeah, each round, yeah. And it's especially like really helpful when you do new industries. You can gain actually like 20 seconds or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice.
And I wanted to ask you one last question about Blood of the Dead. It's like, what was like the small thing about your run that makes it like so hard to beat?
It really is. So my run is not very good. The start isn't very good. People have been over a minute fastest run is about 90 seconds faster starting the challenges. So when I start my challenge is 16 minutes and 12 seconds. The fastest was, oh my god, it was 14, like 45 by Jay. It was around there. But
Yeah.
what you want is, like, to get record, you want realistically around a 15 flat to like 15, 20 chow start. And then you want to get really good chows too. The thing that sets my run apart, we talked about earlier, but I have the fastest challenges ever. Nobody's even gotten close. I had 19 minutes and 36 seconds chow segment, which is insane. Like, yeah, and they're like, so at the very end, I made a mistake. I lost about 15 seconds during the power segment. So we were talking about perfect panels. I've got that, but I let him move. Like so I had to, when I got there, I was nervous, so I had to insta blast if I got whenever I got there, in order to get the perfect panels, but I didn't. So we started on, I think I had C, D, F, so it was like basically perfect, but he moved to D right away, so I lost, and I didn't shock, so then I shocked D, and then I shocked F. I didn't get exactly perfect, but it would have been really good. And I lost about 15 to that, having to wait for him after F to go back to C.
So, yeah, to go back,
so I lost like 12 to 15 to that. But other than that, like, so my chow order was, let's see if I believe it was, I haven't looked at it in a while. It was showers, Michigan, docks, which is very good because you want to get all three prison. There's a few orders of challenges that is perfect, but that's
but
like
why?
one of them.
I mean, you can have Simon says first, and you can actually world record, right?
You could, but getting Simon Says last is best. It is the fastest chow to get last.
Why?
Why? Because okay, so you want to have the last challenge be in spawn, because where you place the orbs.
Yes,
spawn
the
room.
orbs, yes.
Yes, but the problem with spoon is that you have to wait for the trap. So if you do spoon normally, you get, if you do spoon earlier, what happens is you get to leave the trap. Yeah, you get to leave the trap like 20, 30 seconds early.
Yeah.
And you save that 20, 30 seconds. Yeah. And so if you get power last, it allows you to save about 20, 30 seconds compared to spoon. And then yeah, you want to get docks as early as possible too. And yeah, so the order I got, showers first, which is bad if you don't have a full round, but I had a full round, so it was good. And then I got Michigan second, and then I got docks, and I got spoon, and then I got power last, which is a very good challenge order.
Do you think like it's the best challenge order to have?
Probably. There are like some scenarios. So the only thing like kind of bad about that chow order is I only had one ABH. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I only had one ABH at the very end, so I used it at power. There is the time with how fast and how optimized we get. It's hard to sneak into ABHs. You need like very specific chow order to sneak into ABHs now. Like you need to ABH. There's a 15-minute cooldown, so you have to ABH before like 20 minutes on the timer, so you get it back at the end. And there's only a few like spots that are good for that. There are some spots where you can do like dumb ABHs to hopefully save like 15 seconds. But most of the time you're gonna get like a bad ABH in that scenario and actually lose time, so it's not really worth it.
And you can get trolled about ABH. We all know, like on Black Ops 4, you get trolled about ABH. You know, on Voyage, on Blood. I think the monkeys, you can actually ABH next to the monkeys. That's insane.
Yeah.
So it's just RNG actually.
Yeah, the ABH is just RNG. It's a good little fact to know is that there are the most ABH points in the map are at spawn. So you want to ideally ABH to spawn. Because you're most likely to get to spawn ABH, right? So that's why you ABH during power most of the time. It's because you're more likely to get spawn ABH than anywhere else on the map. Yeah.
I think Nine, you have a controversy way to see that map. I know it's really hard. You need to get that insta kill. That's like
in the boss.
changing.
Yeah.
You take.
It's weird because I feel like, let's say me, if I wanted to play it more, or Flindex or someone like that could play that map and
Get
the
it?
world record pace into the boss fight quite a lot, maybe, or like maybe not quite a lot, but you know, we will get games that are world record pace into the boss fight, but you need the insta kill in the boss fight, because if you don't get an insta kill in the boss fight, you're not going to save like 40 seconds, which you need. It's such a big time save, and that's what makes it so hard to WR on that map. And people just don't want to play for that.
And the symbols too. On
The
9.
symbols, like Ra.
It can be faster if you have like fire at the last.
Yeah, I mean, your RA set matters. The biggest thing that matters is when you're filling up the coils on Zeus, the amount of gladiator spawns that you get is important. Because a gladiator is essentially a 30-second time save. Because the way that Kilowatt works is when you use it, it won't be able to go off again for another 30 seconds. So if you just kill a gladiator, that will do half of a coil, right? So
Yeah.
that's essentially a 30-second time save, because usually you need 2 kilowatt charges per coil. So for every gladiator you get is minus 30 seconds. So that's really where all the time save is.
You think like it can be pushed out? Like a 31, 32?
Oh, definitely 32. I think 31's pushing it a bit. You need some crazy RNG and maybe like a Hellion salvo at the start to make it really fast at the start.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you would also start with Wraith Fires. So right now you start with Acid Bombs, and
Acid
that's
bombs,
to
yeah, that's
annoy the crowd to get the poo, right? So what you would actually do is you start with Wraith Fires so you can play the rounds faster, but then you'd have to get a Hellion Salvo from the box to annoy the crowd, right?
exactly, yeah.
And that's for time save. So if someone wants to play for that, then they can. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's hard. 9 is hard.
yeah. I don't know that much about it. I haven't played it in quite a while. It's probably the map that I know least of these 4. But
But you actually have a good time in 9, so it's
yeah,
quite
it's just been so
impressive.
long since I played it.
Remember, you actually didn't enjoy it.
It's all right. It's weird. I thought I didn't like it more than I did. I think I do like it, but
How much like we can start about 9. I think you did have the record holder for at least 6 months, 7 months. And what do you think about getting this world record? Was it hard? Was it easy?
At the moment, to get the world record, I'd say it's pretty difficult because you need a considerable amount of RNG throughout the whole run, because you need the wonder weapon from box, obviously. You need to get the correct special round. And after all of that in the boss fight, you need to get an insta kill. And without that insta kill, you're not going to world record. So it is pretty difficult.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because 9, if you don't have the insta kill, it's a dead one actually.
Yeah, you're not going to WR without that insta kill.
And how much resets do you have on 9? Was it hard actually to get it?
Back when I played it for a few weeks and I ended up getting the world record. So yeah, it's a time-consuming map just because of the RNG. But if you play it enough, then of course the RNG will eventually come your way.
And do you think, Flindex, that this world record is actually beatable? Because I think the world record now is held by Kingman.
Yep.
And do you think it's actually beatable?
Yeah, it's still fairly beatable, but again, you're gonna have to put quite a bit of time into the map if you want to beat it, just because of how RNG intensive it is.
Okay. And for 9, when you see like the competitive gameplay on this map, do you think like it's actually beatable when you see like all the players that playing, or not actually not a lot of players playing this map, or like if you put your time in it, you think you can get it?
Me personally, I think I could beat it if I dedicated enough time to it, but I can't really speak for other players because 9 doesn't really have that many competitive players. I think outside of me and Kingman, there's maybe 2 other people who have really played the map for a good time, and that was years ago now.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I can actually jump right at Ancient Evil that you get the world record 3 or 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was actually a hard one to have, right?
Yeah, that one took me quite a little time.
And you actually beat the world record by actually 1 minute, I think.
Yeah, it was something like 40 seconds, close to a minute.
And
That
what's
was
your
a
take
really good
about this
time.
map? It's I heard like there is a few speedrunners who actually tried this map, and you have a lot of resets. It's really complicated to get this world record too.
Yeah, I'd say Ancient Evils. It's a hard one. I'd put it a tier below Voyage, but it's still pretty hard to get the world record on because, again, it's just a common trend with a lot of these maps now. It's a pretty RNG intensive to get the record. And I'd say it requires less skill than a map like Dead of the Night or Voyage, but you're still going to be resetting for quite a while to get that RNG you need.
Do you think it's actually I know you said you just said it's a pattern to have actually the RNG, but do you think this one needs more RNG than the others?
Less RNG than all the maps we've talked about so far. So 9, Dead of the Night, and Voyage.
Okay. And how many resets it take you to actually have this world record?
Well, I've been playing Ancient Evil for probably the longest out of any map that I've speedrun, so I think my resets are around 800 to 1,000, somewhere in that range.
Okay. So I think you can jump actually to the few last map that you have right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's Alpha Omega. I know Alpha Omega. It's not like the people actually don't really like this map, but
Yeah.
it's actually really hard to have on. You don't have a lot of players that play it, and you have actually a really good time save with the quotes, right?
Yeah, the quote skips are huge on Alpha Omega. You can save so much time if you do them properly.
And how was your take when you did speedrun this map?
I liked it. Honestly, people dogpile on Alpha Omega and it's got such a bad reputation, but I enjoyed when I was speedrunning it. And in terms of the WR difficulty, I do think it's a bit easier than Dead of the Night, Voyage, Ancient Evil, 9, but it's still hard, you know? Like it's
Yeah, of
still going to be
course.
time consuming. There's no free record out of all of these maps that someone can hop on for a week or two and just pop out, you know?
It's quite difficult actually.
Yeah, of course it's possible, but again, it's just as every other map, you're going to have to put in the time to get it.
And you think that there is actually time saves on this map, or
Yes,
it's quite tight?
it is pretty optimized, but there is a little bit of time save at the start, and I think the start of your run is going to give you the most time save.
Yeah. And for the boss fights, there is actually time
Well,
save.
I think my boss fight in the world record run was actually the community gold for the boss fights segment, so no one's had a faster boss fight than that. So, taking that into account, I'm fairly confident in saying you'd have to go in ahead of the world record to beat it.
To jump right into Attack the Toten, your last world record, I guess.
Yeah, my most recent.
Yeah, and how was your take when you did actually speedrun this map? Was it like hard, difficult, easy?
I would say medium. It's not. I definitely did die a few times, like learning the route because a lot of times you don't have the shield early on too. Um, you wait to build the shield during one of the campfires. But it wasn't too bad to learn. It was pretty fast. I got record in only 450 resets, which is very fast.
Very good.
Yeah. And I'm also at this point pretty good at learning how to speedrun the Easter eggs pretty fast. So maybe it's a little bit skewed. Maybe if I if this was like my first speedrun, obviously it would take me way longer. But so the data is a little bit skewed that way. But yeah, the run is overall pretty solid. I lost time on electrics, if I remember correctly. I lost like 30-40 seconds on the electric segment, but other than that, the rest of the run was pretty good.
And what is the most RNG about this map? Like the things that you cannot control?
So in the start, you need good offerings. You got to get 3 offerings, and then you got to get the seal duality. You got to get lucky on that. So that's probably the most RNG dependent part of the run. The dog round also matters a lot too. You could lose like 30 seconds in like multiple
dog
parts of the
rounds.
run
I remember that.
to the dog round. Yeah. So your dog round matters a lot, and
Maybe
I
the
got
boss
good
fight?
dog rounds, I believe. The boss fight is like no RNG at all. It is except for the ABH at the end. The boss fight is 0 RNG.
Yes. And
It's just horde zombies and then kill them. That's it.
so there is no time save in it.
No, my boss is very good. It's actually probably the fastest ever because I get perfect ABH as well. Like it was like perfect. It was a gold for me. I don't know. Maybe somebody's beat it by like 1-2 seconds, but it was like close to perfect. There's no time save there.
George, thank you so much to come to my channel. And I want to ask you the last question. It's like, if you actually have the possibility to rank like the most hardest one to get to the easiest one to get on classics, which map would you put like first on S and then A and then B?
You want just 3, the top 3 hardest, or like all of them?
Top 3 on S. Like if you have like S, A, and B, which map would you put like the hardest to the easiest one to get the world record actually? To someone who actually wants to speedrun.
I would say for sure that the best record on the game. I'm not like
Dead of
no
the Night.
ego. It just is Dead of the Night. It's
It
so
is.
optimized. It's so
Yeah.
good. Flynn's time, he ended up PBing again. He got a 25, I believe 42. That is such an insanely good time. He's gonna have such a hard time beating that, but that's such a good time.
Yeah.
And he grinded for like weeks to get that too.
Yeah, I remember he
Yeah.
actually like did a speedrun for 12 hours and
Yeah,
it
no,
was
he was
insane.
literally playing like 8 hours a day for like 2 or 3
Yeah.
weeks. He was grinding and he got that. That's such a good time. So Dead of the Night, it's the best record in the game. Like hard, like maybe it's hard to
Blood.
say, but probably Blood next. And the
Yeah.
reason is because the map is just really hard. It's just really
It-
hard to learn. Like the learning curve is
Exactly,
really
yes.
hard. Like once you think you're getting good, like you still have so much. Like you have
learn.
round management, you got sword management, you got
Yeah, and
you gotta be able to do
Spirit
Morse
Blast
code
management too.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
I mean, for even for the blessed players, it's really hard to actually
Yeah.
speedrun without dying and do it
It is,
perfectly.
yep.
And then
Like even I die sometimes on it.
Yeah, it's a really hard map, man. And which map would you put next? I know we didn't talk about 9, Voyage, Ancient Evil, and everything, but which one would you put like with the top 3?
For 3, I haven't played. I heard the 9 record's good, but it's a
It's
lot of
really hard.
RNG. It's RNG, but I like Voyage is also a really hard map, so I'd probably put Voyage 3.
Yeah, me too.
I have a decent time, but it's still like 2 minutes off Frex time, right?
Yeah,
So
it's a really hard map. I do speedrun actually the map too, but you need actually the really good blocks, you need the good triangles, you need the shield bar that makes it faster to do the first step, and then you need actually a water skip that helps a lot, and you need actually a consistent boss fight.
Yeah, you need box as well. The boss fight is
Yeah.
important too. You can leak a lot of time if you don't know what you're doing in the boss. And then You got to get good doubles too. The points matter so much
Yeah, of
on the map,
course.
especially if you're hitting the box a ton. Yeah, but Voyage it has a ton of like
I mean,
little RNG. Then planets as well. I don't know if you said that, but planets is
yeah,
very hard
Planet 2,
too.
yeah, true. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a lot of decision making too.
It is. You gotta be able to. It's kind of like Blood. That's kind of why I like the planets. You gotta like figure it out right away. You know, what do I need to do in this specific scenario
Exactly.
to be
And really
fastest? Yeah.
fast. Okay,
9
George,
AO
and
is
and, and 9.
yeah, AO is kind of free. Not free, but
I
not that
mean,
hard. And then
I think we all put it on A, like just after Voyage, below Voyage.
mhm.
But he said that like 9 is really hard because you need that insta kill at the end.
Yes, that's it's like what a 1 out of 4 about.
Yeah,
Maybe like in between a 1 out of 3 and 1 out of 4. It depends on
the
drop.
cycle.
It's like yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, which is just brutal at the very end of the run to have to get a one
Yeah,
out of four. Let's say
and then
that
resets.
is
That's
brutal.
insane.
Yeah, and then Ancient
And
Evil is like it's so weird because the map after the start, if you like get past the first 6 minutes of the run, the rest of the run isn't that
yeah,
much RNG. There is
yeah,
some, right? But
exactly.
it's like super fun run. The problem is the resets at the
With the
start
start,
are
the
brutal. They're
challenges, bro,
so
the
brutal.
challenges
Yeah.
is so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. It really is. It
And we
takes
actually
forever to
put,
get a good start.
yeah, we just actually put Ancient Evil after 9. Do you agree
hmm
about that?
I would say so, yeah. And then
And
AO probably behind that. And
yes,
then
exactly.
I
And
don't
then
know how
5.
good the classified egg is, but that's the last one. We'll just put it at the end and say it's
Yeah,
free.
exactly. So thank you, George, for coming to my channel. It's actually really fun to talk with you and have your take about speedrunning Black Ops 4. Thank you so
Thank you. I
much, man.
appreciate the interval. Yep. Appreciate you as well.
And my last question for you, Flindex. All the maps that we talk about 9, Dead of the Night, Ancient Evil, Alpha Omega, and Voyage, Blood of the Dead. Which what's your take of the hardest one to get to the easiest one?
So my ranking would go as follows: number
I'm
one,
sorry. And we talk about classics, not
classics, yeah,
yeah.
not megas, yeah. So my ranking would be number one is Dead of the Night, the hardest to get. Number two would be Blood. Number three would be 9. Number number three would be Voyage. Yeah. Number 4 would be 9. Number 5 would be Ancient Evil. And number 6 would be Alpha Omega.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much for this interview. That's a really good take to have actually a world record help us to actually get into these maps. And
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much to come to my channel, man.
No problem.
Okay, so my last question for you, Freckleston, is the end game question. What do you think, like, what is the easiest one to the hardest one to get the world record on Black Ops 4 on classics?
I would say 9's probably the easiest.
Like,
Though I personally think it's quite close with Voyage. Voyage has a
Yeah.
lot of time save on it, but it's really difficult. And from my experience, people aren't experienced at Voyage. Like there's not many people that are very good at the map, and I haven't really seen anyone that can turn around and like get a really good time and
Yeah.
quickly. So it would probably it's definitely easier for me to get Voyage WR than 9, but I think in
Like,
general it's easier
yeah,
for someone to
yeah.
beat 9. Yeah.
And on Voyage, it's like on Voyage, it's quite impossible to get that kind of time.
Yeah,
37 is
yeah.
very hard.
It is tough. It's tough. So yeah, I would put 9 as the easiest, and then Voyage. I'm gonna put almost like a break, right? Because the other two maps are so difficult that I would put Blood second, and then Dead of the Night as the hardest. But those two are like so much harder than the other two maps. I feel like Blood like I mentioned before, it's so hard because you have to play so well and get the RNG over such a long period of time. And that's also similar with Dead of the Night. You have to play perfectly.
The game too, like the
Mm,
movement
mm.
and everything.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's no room for error on Dead of the Night. Like, you have to be perfect. And if you're not perfect, you're not going to beat it.
And Blood too.
But Blood has room. Like, that's the thing. Like, Blood is such a long speedrun that there is room for error, and there's room for so much time save at the start. Like, Wjorge's challenge start is a 16. Like, if it's like a 16-10.
Yeah,
I've had
it's
mid
I think it's
14s before.
yeah 14. Really 14? I
Uh,
think
yeah,
the best
yeah.
one is
That's what
15.
I mean. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've had a 1450 and a 1430. So, like, there's so much time saved before that there is room
there is
for
a
that.
time save.
Whereas on Dead of
Yeah,
the Night, there's just not time
I
saved.
know.
You have
I
to get
agree.
basically the same
Yeah,
RNG and be perfect. So yeah, Dead of the
okay.
Night's
Thank you.
definitely the hardest.
Thank you so much, Freckleston, to come to my channel. I hope we saw you again, maybe. And thank you for coming, mate.
Yeah, thank you, man.